Hey everyone, so let's talk about something real. Let's talk about what most people don't talk about. Why I decided not to go down the path of fraud as a young Nigerian. In the world of today where it's becoming a norm, where everybody you see around you indulge in fraud in one or two ways because it's now a norm. But if we could really tell ourselves the truth, it's becoming a pandemic. It's becoming something to worry about. It's becoming something we should address as early as possible, because we, the youth of Nigeria, we now see it as something that is now a norm. We now see it as something you should do in order to survive as a Nigerian. So let's get on to it. Here are the 10 reasons why I decided not to do fraud as a young Nigerian. First-hand experience from being defrauded. I've been defrauded several times, I think a couple of times, and what I felt during that period, I do not wish that on anybody, anyone else, even my enemy, because during that period, I spent my hard-earned money on something that wasn't feasible. It was a scam. And in as much as it looked all real, in as much as it looked all authentic, I was a victim. And it was not a good one. It was a very painful experience. I do not wish on anyone. During that period, I was sad. I was really depressed, and I couldn't turn to no one because I felt like I was foolish enough to believe what I was told by a stranger. Some are not even strangers, some are people you know. One of the experience was one of a very close person I knew, and I was defrauded. It's not a thing it's not an experience, not a feeling you should want to have. It's a very bad experience. You find that sometimes people get defrauded and they kill themselves. They commit suicide. They go down the rough path. Sometimes they die due to overthinking, due to depression. It's bad, and I would not want anybody else to experience such feeling. It's not what I pray for someone. It's not what I wish on someone. So if I can use this avenue to tell you not to go into fraud, if I can use this medium to tell you not to indulge in fraudulent activities, I would. For any reason that you're being convinced to go into fraud, to start any fraudulent activities, after watching this video, you should be convinced enough not to do fraud, not to indulge in fraud. Moral values. Do you have any moral values as a young professional? Do you have any moral values as a young person? Your value makes you stand out in packs of people. When you keep your moral values, you tend to see that people respect you. They might not tell you, but they respect you. Also, these moral values is something you build over time, from family, from friends, from well-wishers. They tend to teach you how to go about life in several different ways. And one or two ways, I was fortunately to have good parenting from childhood that taught me what to do and what not to do, things to do and things not to do for the society to become a better place. I've seen several people suffer from the consequences of fraud. Is it worth it living over fear throughout your life? You can't stay at a place and be free. You always checking your phone to make sure that you are safe within your environment. It's not a thing I would love to do. It's not a kind of life I would love to live. Basically, most people suffer from fear because of they indulge in criminal activities. When they see the police, they're always afraid. When they see law enforcement agencies, they're always afraid because they do not want to get caught. Is it jail time? Is it your reputation as a human being? Is it your reputation within your family, your friends? If you go to prisons, you will see the amount of people that are being caught by law enforcement agencies due to the indulgence in fraud. And it's not a thing that a young adult or a young youth should have over his head, should have over her head. You should think towards a more positive mindset on working out ways to make your life better, indulging in skills that could make your life much, much harder but easier in the long run. But fraud itself is something that you should be scared of, because any moment you can get caught. Is it worth it? Law enforcement agencies are everywhere and they can clamp down on you. It's not a thing that you should try to want to become or you should indulge in, because you have constant fear over your head. See me, I'm like free. I do whatever I want to do. I go to wherever I want to go to without deleting stuff on my laptop, without deleting stuff on my phone. That to show you that within me, I feel free and I can decide to do whatever I want to do. I can decide to go wherever I want to go to, knowing fully well that I don't have to double check myself to ensure that I wouldn't be harassed or caught by any law enforcement agency. Long-term goals over short-term goals. Most people seek results of now. They just want to get a result out of the work of now. And you tend to see that those things you see, those results you get out of 3 months work, 5 months work, 1 month work, they tend to disappear over a short period of time. But when you build yourself over years, when you build yourself over a couple of years on a particular field, on a particular thing, you realize that this thing tends to hold still over a long period of time, and you can develop yourself while still being in it. Fraud might bring a fast gain, but I'm interested in something that lasts, something that can prove itself over 10 years, 20 years, 30 years to come. And when you develop yourself in skill, in profession of your choosing over a long period of time, you get to see the results. This gives you what you're looking for in terms of long-term goals over short-term goals. Desire to build skill, genuine skill and knowledge. Skill is knowledge. It's something you could use over the period of time, something you could use for a very long time. And when you develop yourself in your desired skill, in a particular profession, it's something that you could use for a very long period of time. Instead of just, let me use the word cashing out, instead of cashing out for 1 year, 2 years, living the life you desire, why shouldn't you just decide to build yourself in a particular field, in a particular skill that would help you? Fraud itself give you quick money, but when you build your desired skill that you want, it could stand the times of time. And majority of the times, you see people, when they do not have money from fraud, they indulge into several things, several ungodly things or unlawful things. So I personally decide to build myself on my skill of being a content creator, of being a YouTuber over the period of time, so that as time goes on, I would be able to say that yes, this is the time I put into this and I've been able to get desired results from it over the period of time. Seeing successful people inspire me. When I see successful people on media, it really do inspire me, and sometimes I look forward to being like them. And when you check their life story, you realize that it's happened through a life work of 10 years, life work of 20 years before they were able to get to wherever they are right now. And I prefer to take the long path. I prefer to take the hard path to get to a successful end, rather than getting little or nothing to make you feel happy just for a short while. So having successful people around as my mentor, whether it's family member or whether it's people I see in the media, it's really a thing to look forward to. because I see them as a source of inspiration for me to get to wherever I want to get to. Negative impact on the society, negative impact on your country. You find out that when you talk about fraud, Nigeria always come up. When you talk about, sometimes I find it difficult to introduce myself to foreigners as a Nigerian because of the narrative of, oh, he might be a fraudster. Oh, are you sure he doesn't want to defraud me? So I just tell them I'm an African, because I do not want them to have a negative remark or negative attribute towards me because of the fact that I'm a Nigerian. And it's poor. It's a bad thing to have such a mentality towards you or towards we as a country, towards we as a nation, people tagging us as fraudsters. It's not a good thing. Yes, I know that we do remarkable things out there, we do outstanding things out there, but we should try our best to cut down on most of the negative things that we do that gives us negative name in our society. You might not know because you're in Nigeria, but when you leave the country, you will realize that it's a toll on you, it's a toll on the nation. And because of this, it should be enough reason for you not to indulge in fraud the way I've decided not to indulge in fraud. One of the reasons why I decided not to do fraud as a young Nigerian is because of humanity and my respect to others. It's something that is a core value within me, and I feel like I shouldn't be the reason someone else is being hurt. I feel like I shouldn't be the reason why someone out there would be harmed. We should all live in peace and harmony without the fear of being defrauded by someone else, without the fear of being harmed by someone else. This world should be a better place than how it is right now, or what it is right now, with love and harmony within human beings, within the people around you. You tend to live freely, you tend to live without the fear of danger, without the fear of someone else trying to defraud you of your hard-earned money, of your hard-earned wealth. So humanity-driven values is a core thing that everybody should have, because if you don't want something else to happen to you, don't be the reason why it should happen to someone else. So basically, the final reason why I decided not to do fraud is based on the fact that I got support from my parents, I got support from my family, my loved ones. And when you're going down a path of consistency, of hard work, so you need support from your family members, you need support from your loved ones, you need support from everyone, whatever discipline you decide to do, whatever profession you want to do, try to have support from your family members, from even if it's friends. It takes a lot. It takes you a very long way when you have support, especially when it's family members. It's very good, and it's something that would take you all the way through your journey. Without support, most of the things I want to achieve, I couldn't. But with the support of my people, financially, morally, physically, even spiritually, I can't underestimate the value of the support I got from people around me. And that's a wrap. Thank you all for watching. Bye.